Okay, so let's see. This is my game against Gus. The last move he played was G14, which was expected, but was something I really was hoping he wouldn't play. Not so much because like it's one of those things where I made a mistake and I hope my opponent doesn't play the move that punishes it, but more because it's the move that where if I respond with the strongest move ends up with a very chaotic fight that leaves me more prone to making mistakes. And I think if getting into a complicated fight is something definitely that would favor, or not, maybe that's not the right word, something that Gus would prefer. So it would have been nice if he just played like this, and then I would invest another move into putting a leash on J16. But no, that's not going to happen. He's going to play this move. So there's several moves I considered, and let's go over the moves I won't play. First move I thought about was this move at H15. Despite the ugly shape, it has a clear purpose in that it disconnects J16 from G14. And furthermore, it also puts some pressure on J16, though not that much. White can easily make Sabaki with this group and just get out and leave me with very little profit. So there's that move. But I think the reason why I don't want to play this move is just that the shape is rather cramped, and I just don't think it looks great for black. The next move I considered was this move, but if white plays like this, I can't see a good follow up for black. If black chooses to disconnect the two stones right away, then after white Ataris the two stones, I double Atari captures and black connects from underneath. White ends up thick, and I think this works out better for him than for me, despite me ensuring the safety of my group and getting some points at the top. I think overall, this situation is better for white. And if I play here, I think it's kind of the same deal. I think white can play like this. And despite having a lot of cuts here, I also have this big cut to worry about. And if I choose to exploit the cut here right away, white can play at G17 and capture these two stones and gain a huge corner. Or if I choose to protect the cut like this, then white can just choose to protect one of the cuts and give me just a piece. But I think globally this situation is better for white than for black, despite me getting quite some hefty territory on the top. Though maybe this isn't. This is just a variation I was thinking about. I'm not sure if it's like the best for both players. So that's the reason why I didn't want to play J15 either. So if H15 doesn't, if H15 or J15 isn't so great, then aren't so great, then that pretty much leaves this move. It's the strongest move in that it stresses the cut at F14 as well as E16, but at the same time it also leaves the cut at H15, which I think white can exploit immediately, and basically it end up with a fight where I need to ensure the safety of these two groups. I'd have to play here right away, obviously, because if white gets to play here, then my two stones die. And white making sure that this cut is always looked out for, as well as managing this group. So it ended up in a pretty complicated fight. I looked through a database, and one variation that I saw was where white blocks like this, and then black tries to connect from underneath, white blocks, black connects, white connects, black plays L18 to threaten to connect underneath, then white takes the time to protect the cut at E16, black connects from underneath, white plays J14 to put pressure Atari and try and get out into the center. Black doesn't want to lose his stone and make sure and give white thickness, so he extends. And it's also important that he extends because this group of white is not very strong. So this is a must. And then white moves out like this. So this is a game I saw between, I think it was two Chinese female professional players. So this is one variation that they played. And the difference was that, well, the top half of the board was exactly the same, but the bottom half was different in that this exchange was never made. So that's one variation I looked at. But anything goes, really. I think, though, just from a philosophical, well, maybe that's not the right word. I shouldn't be playing moves where I show that I'm scared, or moves where I kind of back out. I should. It doesn't matter if my opponent. It shouldn't matter if my opponent is 15Q or 9 Dan or Lise Dol. I should always try to play the strongest move, I think, and that's very important in Go. So even if I lose the game, it would always be playing the strongest move would always, I think, allow me to learn more from the games than playing the cowardly moves. And I did bring up that game I mentioned earlier where I played against Michael Yao from Sweden, where I always played really cowardly moves, and in the end, it just doesn't work. So I'm going to play the strongest move, which I think is H14, and kind of brace for the upcoming fight. I think white can cut immediately, so after which, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe we'll end up with that exact same variation, but we'll see. So yeah, thanks for watching.